Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? My name is Dennis Ayers, and I am the owner of Ayers Insurance Group located in Clinton, Mississippi. And this is our talk show, Health and Habits, where we just simply discuss different things in the community with a healthcare flair. Information on Medicare, on different health plans, and on certain health issues. We a lot of times will have experts on those topics, but today we're just talking. So, you can reach us here. Our temporary number of 1-800-492-5186. We're having technical difficulty with that, but you can still call us. And you can reach us at 601-863-9877. And that's that's a temporary number, but you can still reach us at that number. That's area code 601. That's a local number. 601-863-9877. That's 601-863-9877. Or you can view us on Roku TV. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, We Believe Digital Facebook page, and also our own platform at webelievedigital.com. So reach out to us. Make sure when you're on Facebook or YouTube that you hit and like with that subscribe button, and then you'll get those notifications whenever Health and Habits is up, or hit the like and share button on Facebook, and that way we'll get this message around to the United States, all your partners or your Facebook friends, and that way we can get this information out. Anyone that wants to hear it, it's available to them. You can always pull these up at webelievedigital.com. You can pull up this episode, last week's episode, on back. There's an archive situation there, and you can always pull them up. So, well, one of the things that I was on a customer service call this morning, and I had a member who is 97 years young, and so she's been blessed, except she failed. And so right now, the question was, where are the resources that are available to her to get the help that she needs? She lived alone up until the time she failed. So, and that's becoming a trend because people are living longer, and you want to have your independence as long as you can. She's 97, and they're finally getting to a point to where she may have to go to an assisted living plan. Well, the issue that they had is not an uncommon issue, but the fact that they had, his mom had an Advantage plan. And those plans contract with Medicare to provide the same level of Medicare. And there's some additional benefits involved in that, but they're network-based plans. And a lot of times you have to understand when a person gets to this point in life to where they either need to go to assisted living or convalescent living facilities. In most cases, these types of plans are not designed for long-term care. So, my suggestion to that child for his parent was simply remove his mom from an Advantage plan by simply enrolling her in a prescription drug plan, and at that point she could go to that extended living facility or convalescent care. Now, there are some things that you need to know about that, and we'll dive into that. because then what happens is a lot of people have heard, and it does apply. Medicaid will want to may want to they're going to want to know your financial state, any properties out there, and a number of other things. I simply don't know enough about that to have an in-depth discussion on that, but we will draw someone from Medicaid to explain that to us on a later show. But there is some help out there for her, especially if she wants to continue to live in her home. We had a guest, Dr. Chelsea Criddle here from Mississippi Planning and Development District, here about 3 weeks ago, and she talked about some of the programs that they have. And one of those programs was simply, if that criteria fit, they could that agency had people that would come out and assist them, and assist them do other things, and that includes food and a number of other things. So what we have here for anyone who wants to know more about Central Mississippi Planning and Development District, to give us a call, and we will get that information to you. We can, if you're anywhere in the state, we can mail it to you. Of course, if you're out of state, it may not apply to you. But if you're in the state of Mississippi, especially if you're here in the metro area, Jackson metro area, we could hand deliver this resource guide to you. If not, we can put it in the mail for you and make sure that you get it. But you're going to have to let us know. Give us a call at 601-863-9877. That's 601-863-9877. And it's interesting because, most people that, just about anyone that is 60 years and older will, or quite possibly could apply to some of the programming that Central Mississippi Planning and Development District may offer. And and that includes, believe it or not, that includes me. But what I will do is I will leave you, I'm going to give you their number. So if you got a pencil and paper ready, please take down their number, and it is 601-321-2147. That's 601-321-2147. And they do everything from home to, if you're immobile and you want a COVID shot or even the booster, they will come out to the house and they will give you that. They have that program available. So, that's one of the things they do. And so this book is called a Senior Resource Directory. And I would encourage anyone that's on Medicare, or if you're ready to go on Medicare, to get this book. Or if you have parents on Medicare, to get this book, simply because it is a wealth of information. I've gone through this thing a couple of times, and I've seen things in here that I have not seen before. And it goes everything to the assistance at Mississippi Department of Rehabilitation, on over to COVID information, Alzheimer's, and dementia. If you're dealing with that, there is information on who to contact and get help, because there's help out there for you. You just have to know how to go get it. But this book is it's a wealth of information. Diabetic resources and services, dental services and resources for those that are on that are 60 years and older, because there may be specific needs. And then what we can do is we can talk about different types of dental programs that are available to you. Some of them are at no cost and some of them are at very low cost. But, we have to know what your situation is in order for us to be able to have that conversation with you. That's why it's important that you give us a call at 601-863-9877. Or if you are unable to give us a call today or right now, you can call me, or there's a couple of ways you can reach me personally, and I can get you this information. You can call my company cell phone or my company number at 601-209-9853. That's 601-209-9853. You don't have to call me. You can send me a text, or you can go to our company website, which is DennisAyers.org. And then with that website, you'll see that landing page, Sans Ayers Insurance Group. And just leave a message for contact. And you can write in there the notes on what you want to talk about. You can request that information, and we'll be more than happy to send it to you. But we have to know. So, disability services. I mean, this thing is a wealth of information. If you are on disability or you're applying for disability, y'all, this is a wealth of information. Or if you have a child with Down syndrome and you want resources, they're there. It's just a wealth of information. Social Security. I mean, how many people want to be in contact with Social Security? But that information is there. Information about wellness and fitness and wellness, different clinics and hospitals in the area for veterans, non-veterans. Y'all, this book is loaded up with information, and I would encourage, if I can get this book in everyone's mailbox, I would do it, because this is one that you want to keep at the kitchen table in the event that you need those services. So the number over to Mississippi Planning and Development District is 601-321-2147. That's 601-321-3147. And what we want to do is we want to continue to provide this information for you. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break. And we had a young lady here last week talking about the CPR and knowing that in the African American community and the lack of training in that community. So, we're providing a lot of topics for you. And these should be concerning, because one of the things we do know is 50% of all people in this community don't know, especially women, will have a heart attack, and there's no one around that may know CPR. So you have a 50% chance of not making it simply because there's no one trained either in the house or in your immediate circle of influence. So it's very important. If you want to know more about how can you get CPR trained, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But here in about 25 seconds, what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief 2-minute break, but we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some more things. But this is Dennis Ayers. Once again, you can reach us here at the studio for the next 20 minutes at 601-863-9877. Or you can call me on my company cell phone at 601-209-9853, and we'll be right back.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippiLink.com and click on Home Delivery.
Do you have something to say? Do you want your voice heard? Join the We Believe Global lineup. Be the star of your own show. For more info, call 800-492-5186, option number 1, or visit online at webelieve.global.
Okay, we are back, and we're down to our last 15 minutes of this program. Remember, we have our normal number of 1-800-492-5186. We're having technical difficulties, but we still have a local number that you can call us and reach us at 601-863-9877. That's 601-863-9877. And when we left, we're talking about a number of things today, and this is just a chat session. And we were talking about the first 15 minutes about the Mississippi Planning and Development District and the services that they provide. They are a wealth of information concerning if you're disabled, if you're homebound, if you are limited as far as can't get out and get a COVID test, if you are limited in access to your meals. You really need to get in contact with those people over at the Mississippi Planning and Development District. And this is the department on aging, the aging program. And so, I remember earlier this year, I read some information that they would even come out and because we got a lot of seniors living by themselves, they would come out and help you change your light bulbs. They could even come out and help with your landscaping, at least cut your grass for you. There's a ton of different things that they could do that people simply do not know about. And so what happens is there's a lot of underutilization of these programs because people simply don't know. So what we want to do is we want to put that information out because we want people to get involved in that. And you can reach these folks at 601-318-2147. That's 601-321-2147. That's 601-321-2147. And then what we talked about right before we left was the fact that a lot of people in our communities lack certification for CPR training. So in other words, in order to keep that certification up, every other year there is training, because sometimes how you do CPR may change, and it has. When I first learned CPR, you had to do not only chest compressions, but you had to breathe for the person also. But no more. You're just doing the chest compressions. There's a lot that it has evolved, and so. But the problem is, we simply don't educate ourselves enough to want to be certified in that. If you're a church pastor and you have 100 people in your church, and 3 to 5 are certified with CPR, and something happens in that congregation amongst those 100 people, now what you have is you have a greater probability of survival, opposed to no one's being trained and no one knowing not what to do. Because on average, it's going to take anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes for an ambulance to arrive, and right then you're counting down concerning lack of oxygen or blood circulation, which carries oxygen throughout the body, and all that's important. And those are things that I think that in our community we're lacking, and we simply need to know those things, because 50%, let me get this straight. Cardiac arrest occurs. Blacks and Hispanics were found to be 30% less likely than whites to receive CPR from a bystander. 30% less likely. And it doesn't matter what your income is. And that's the caveat right there. You can live in one of the richest neighborhoods in our area, but still that 30% still applies. So what we have to do is educate the community on the importance of something like this. Because, Lord, God forbid, if it was somebody's family member, your mom, your cousin, your aunt, and we would have to stand by and do what we know to do if we're not trained, and that's virtually nothing. So we're at the mercy of first responders when they get there. So we can do a little bit more, and what we want to do is provide you with the number to the young lady who gave that class, and her name is Linda Layfair, and she teaches that class throughout the metro area, actually throughout the state of Mississippi. And if you have a church and you want to get people certified, she can certainly do it. And her number is 601-966-0993. Her name is Linda Layfair, and she is the owner of the CPR company. And what she does is she is a licensed instructor, and she can certainly teach a group from 2 to 20 on the on the merits of CPR, how to get certified, and what to do. But that's not all she does. She does first aid training, and just a host of other things that she will also do. And that number, once again, is 601-966-0993. And her name is Linda Layfair, and she is just a real nice person, and someone who can help you navigate that, because what you don't want is you don't want to be in a situation where all you can do is stand there and call 911, but you want to be able to do something that will help that situation. So, but anyway, that is something else we talked about, and we also talked about this resource book. And y'all can call me directly and get that resource book. And my company number is 601-209-9853. I think everybody in the state of Mississippi should have one of these resource books, because it's a one and done deal. And that's you can reach me at 601-209-9853. You don't even have to call me. You can send me a text and saying I want the book. Of course, I'll need I'll text you back and tell you I need an address and a name. But I'll be glad to get that thing out to you. It's not going to cost you a dime. We can certainly help in that area. So another thing we want to talk about is AEP is coming up. We know the annual enrollment period is coming up, and I know that a ton of you have gotten information. I had a call just this morning about an agent coming to a gentleman's house to sell him life insurance. This agent set up an appointment to sell him life insurance, and then when he got there, he tried to sell him another product called Medicare Advantage. Well, the agent didn't buy that. But one thing that anyone in the United States needs to know, that if anyone does that to you, if they say they want to come and fit you for diabetic shoes, if they say they want to come talk to you about life insurance, and if they start asking you about your Medicare, that's illegal. That should not even come up in that appointment. And if you are having issues with that, then I will tell you right now, and if that's something that's discerning to you, or if someone contacts you in the grocery store, or if someone calls you, or even come up to your door and knock, and it is unsolicited and you did not invite them to your home, and or you're being pressured to purchase one of these Advantage plans, certainly you have recourse. Most people don't realize that, but there are a lot of bad actors out there that should not be doing what they're doing, but they are. But here's the number. Y'all get this pen, get a pen and write this number down. It's also on your red, white, and blue Medicare card. And that number is 866-253-5609. That's 866-253-5609. And that number is the Social Security. And you can call and you can report that. The only thing that you should really try to do is capture the name and the phone number of that agent. That's very important, because you got to know who to report. But if you are getting these unsolicited knocks on the door, if you're getting these unsolicited approaches at the counter at the drugstore or at Kroger's or the grocery store, that's illegal unless you invite them to come and talk to you about that. Then they should not be doing that. Now, we know at the end of the day, that's what people are doing. and it should not be done. And we're going to talk more about that and about the open enrollment. We're going to talk about some of the pitfalls of open enrollment and some of the advantages of open enrollment. And that open enrollment is going to be on October 15th to December 7th. And that's October 1st is when you start seeing all the phone calls, you start getting all the mail, and you're going to get a heightened probability of people of unsolicited requests for Medicare. So we just simply need to educate our community, because at the end of the day, Mississippi is a great place to sell a Medicare Advantage plan. So why do we get people from Texas, from Arkansas, from Georgia coming to Mississippi? That's because the plans are plentiful and they're very inexpensive. And our seniors love them, and there are, on average, there are 14, 15 different companies, Medicare Advantage plan companies here in the state. But what we need to know is we need to know our rights, and we need to know what's allowable and what's not. And y'all, if y'all want to compare, October 15th to December 7th is the time to do that. What we're going to do this month, the rest of this month, is we're going to talk about that. And especially next month, what we're going to do is we're going to start getting some other community partners in to start talking about the pitfalls of Medicare, what you do in AEP, how does AEP work, and what happens after AEP if you're not satisfied with what you have. So stay tuned for that, because that is a biggie, especially for those people that are on Medicare and those that are on disability Medicare. Y'all can give us a call. But if you want to do some comparison shopping, you can do it yourself, but certainly you can give us a call at Ayers Insurance Group or go to DennisAyers.org, and we can do that comparison for you. And we can just do that needs analysis to make sure that you understand what you're getting. You can reach us at 601-209-9853. You can call us or you can text. And God bless each and every one of you. And you know what I always say, if you want to change those outcomes, then you may have to change some habits. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you. Good night. Am I off, Malcolm? Malcolm. Malcolm.
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his 5 senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason.